Hello, everybody. Welcome. I've had coffee. This could be dangerous.
You will. Everyone out there watching this live stream, just know Daniel has had coffee, and it has been just mayhem backstage prior to us going live. You guys are gonna have the best time today. We have such exciting stuff. Plus, Daniel himself is a show. Daniel with coffee. Wow. Am I right, Gareth? It's
full of vim and vigor.
Vim and
what
vigor.
They call it these days. V and V.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Oh, hey. Ooh. So I'm just checking on this. I know we had some people chatting even before we went live, which is fantastic. I love the energy for this challenge already. So I'm just looking at some of the chats. I think have a basic structure. I know kind of how I want it to end, kind of. So people
good.
Really jumping in on this AutoCrit Community Writing Challenge. Yeah. Where's Gareth? Gareth is represented today by Coach Auto. So
what do you mean? I'm right here.
Yeah. Is
actually
Coach
what he
Auto
looks
the
like.
story coach, or is he the kids camp guy?
Coach.
Coach Auto from camps.
No, from our coaches.
General coaching.
Story coach. Really?
Yeah, story coach.
Yeah. Oh, this is so
here to keep
fun.
everybody motivated and
Which,
moving.
by the way, if you're ever curious about seeing Gareth, I'm just saying, if you get him as your story coach, he might just appear. It's possible. But you might have to say his name 3 names in front of a mirror.
And turn around and look in a mirror or something. Oh my goodness, it's so true. I mean, honestly, it's so fun because Gareth, as everyone knows, teaches our horror course, and I help him with that. I worked with Gareth for months, and had never seen his face. We get on the first live stream of the first cohort of the horror class that I helped him with, and there was his face. And some of us had also already been working with Gareth, right? And so we're trying to play it cool. We're like, ah. But just know, right underneath the camera, my little fingers on the keyboard were direct messaging some of our other pals that also had never seen her. Like, oh, can you believe it? It's Gareth's face. It's so wonderful. What a treat. Like, this course is already so
You're turning
amazing.
this horror class into like an OnlyFans where you have to buy your way into access. That's a very different model than before here.
Well, it's not only that these days. I mean, now if you are an AutoCrit member, you get to see me in our members only interviews.
What?
Literal actual members. Oh, it's so true. Gosh, we have the best. I'm a little biased. Yes, I am. But we have the best author interviews. And it's not just authors. It's coaches. It's publishers. It's editors. It's industry professionals all over the place. And oh my gosh, they're so good. Now, we do have a lot of horror ones because that community is very tight-knit and Garrett's very plugged in. And we're getting a lot of just really well-known horror authors that have the best tips. So even if you're not into horror, don't let that intimidate you. The tips and the tricks and the practices and the feedback is just valuable no matter what genre you write. So check that out. That is, because it is members only exclusive content, that is on our members only AutoCrit group, which is hosted on Mighty Networks. If you are an AutoCrit professional or elite member, and that includes lifetime, you can find it at community.autocrit.com. If you don't have access already, now it is a separate user ID and password because we haven't yet been able to plug those things together. But definitely community.autocrit.com. If you are a subscriber and you haven't yet set up access for that, you can request access right there on that page. Just be sure to tell us which email address you use for your AutoCrit subscription. We'll verify that on the back end, and then we'll get you set up. And within the Mighty Networks, within our private community, Gareth, do you remember what the topic is called? I'm drawing a quick blank. And I don't think I have that tab open in the 47 that are open in my browser and brain.
I would probably be lying if I pulled it off the top of my head, but it's along the lines of guest appearances.
That does sound quite familiar. So thank you for that. So let us know. I'm just trying to keep. So Denise, that should help you out there. Some of our previous content may also be available on YouTube. I think some of our earlier fireside chats, like the one from Crystal King, I think that's still on YouTube, right, Daniel?
Yep, it is.
Fantastic. So yeah,
we've got so check it out. And that also means for any of you out there that are not AutoCrit members yet, feel free to, subscribe, ring the bell for this channel, because stuff appears on this channel too. We don't only keep it behind the scenes for our members, although we give them some of our best stuff. Let's be honest, they're our members. We have to. But we do like to share the wealth, and so there's lots of material. In fact, I just put up a video yesterday, which is my little nerdy rant on Purple Prose, which I recommend.
Oh, it's so good, you guys. It's so good. The nerdy, and when he says nerdy rant, it's so entertaining. It's wonderful. You should definitely check it. It's quite short, right?
Oh yeah, it's like 5 minutes. So
yeah. So you just get entertained for 5 minutes. Bite-sized learning, which for me is very effective because learn, squirrel, So I appreciate Daniel that you keep it quick and snappy and easy to digest. So someone asked in the chat as well, is there a place on the AutoCrit site to find the events for the writing challenge? And so I'm going to post this. First, I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to paste it because that's how computers work.
See out there, somebody said they've already written 2,415 words. Like, overachiever, but that's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm impressed.
Awesome. So there's a banner on the bottom of our screen right now, autocrit.com/events. That is a public place on our public website. You can go there. I don't know if it's in our navigation because we're updating that right now, but you can just type in autocrit.com/events. And they will all be there listed for you. They're also set up as events in our Facebook author community, which is publicly available. So if you are a free forever AutoCrit member or just an AutoCrit fan that is not yet a member and you're in that AutoCrit author community, they're all listed as Facebook events in there, and they link directly to YouTube where you're watching us now. So we try to make it quite easy. Of course, if you are an AutoCrit member, we do have a special discussion group set up inside our members only community, and all the events are in there as well. So no matter where you are, you can always find the events and you can always interact with AutoCrit.
Where you are.
Is that a song?
I don't know. It just sounds like it is. Yeah. Well, it was a song for an old fireworks show at Disneyland. That's a deep dive reference for you. But,
that's fantastic. That is wonderful. So yes, somebody's over a couple thousand words already. Fantastic. Was that Mrs. Wright? I saw
Ms. Wright.
Yes.
So it's fitting.
It is.
So somebody has a question. Is it all right if our short story ends up being really short, like only a couple thousand words, because they prefer flash fiction / shorter prose? Do we have a minimum requirement?
We do not. It is absolutely fine. If you end up with like 2,500, no problem. We just want to keep the upper limit around 5,000. Usually I have the opposite problem. I'll start something hoping for around 5,000, come out with about 9,300, and then have to trim it down again. But certainly if you have the opposite problem, no issue at all, because really when it comes to a story, it's as long as it needs to be. So if it needs to be shorter, then it needs to be shorter.
Yes.
What was it? There was that discussion about like how many words you can make in a story, and like people eventually come up with like stories that are like 3 words long or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Have you ever seen that?
Jerry Jenkins just posted one not too long ago on his social media, and he does like a picture, and he says like write a story in 5 words about this picture.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe the creative answers that come through. It's so good. So speaking of...
Although I would recommend more than 5 words for those of you out there. I'm not trying to convince you to go that route.
I mean, there's no strict minimum, but like way more than 5. Way more than 5. Yeah. And I think, gosh, that might be an even
There it is, for sale, baby shoes never worn. Yes, thank you.
Oh,
that was the reference I was thinking of.
Boy. Oh, my
Thank you, Brian.
Great one. Wow. Wow. Melissa says I might end up just over 5,000. So
yesterday's presentation is on YouTube, Daryl. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Yep, Daryl, it is on YouTube. So go ahead and go check that out. We did all the Q's and A's, the frequently asked questions, the questions live from our audience, and then updated our real FAQs with that. Rosie has a great question we talked about yesterday on that FAQ as well. How many words over 5,000 can we get away with?
None.
Zero. So, so of course, I was like, Gareth, what's our answer if it's 5,001? It's fine. 2, fine. 3, fine. It really just...
Just try not to go over 5,000. That's the challenge, right?
Yeah, it's
so
generally...
if it's like you have a sentence and you just can't quite figure it out and you really feel like you can't get there, then I understand. But I mean, we could probably figure out a way to get under 5,000. Let's try. Let's challenge ourselves.
In a general sense, kind of out in the wild. If you were submitting to an anthology and they said 5,000 word limit, generally be okay if it's a little over that. But if the editor, whoever's dealing with the submissions, and if it's not the editor, just a reader, let's just say, opens and that number begins with a 6 or a 7, they're not likely to really consider much.
That's true. That's true. So treat this as you would treat any professional submission. I think that's pretty good.
Yes, Alyssa, get rid of those filler words.
Get rid of those filler words. There's no need to write the end at the end. If you're 5,002 and your last 2 are the end, just cut them right off. So if anybody else is here watching today's live stream who didn't check out the opening ceremony, the Q&A, the hows and whys and wherefores about the challenge, we did a whole live stream on that yesterday, and the video of that, the recording of that, is up on YouTube. So definitely check that out as well, because we've got just answers to all the questions I'm seeing in the chat today are definitely addressed, that plus many, many, many more in yesterday's live stream, which is again out there on our YouTube channel. youtube.com/channel/AutoCrit, wherever you are now, AutoCrit Editing, I believe. So have a peek at that. There's also an FAQ document that we're updating based on some of the terrific questions we got that we hadn't thought of and didn't come up last year. So we'll get that posted as well. Someone's already asked if I'm going to name a kitten after one of this year's winners. And just if anybody hasn't met the cat, she's quite popular with our AutoCrit community. She's my little assistant. So maybe if you would like a kitten named after your author name or a puppy. I love this. So sorry, tangents from yesterday's live. The jokes never end. Speaking of jokes and fun things.
Whoa, 3,138 words. I feel like it's a telethon. I just keeps going.
I know,
up.
just like the numbers.
And survey says
popping up. Like, show us the tote board. Oh, I wish I had a tote board. Wouldn't that be lovely?
We could do that at the end for how many people submitted, right? Because we don't know how many people are going to participate. Could be quite a few, so that'd be fun. Yeah,
we can have an animated tote board in the back, and we can do Vanna White. It's gonna
I'll figure out something.
Yes, thanks, Daniel. In the meantime, to get you started off on the right foot, we're gonna do a fun little game today. And Gareth, why don't you tell our viewing audience what we like to do to get those creative juices flowing?
Indeed, prepare your brains, because they're about to get abused. Or heavily used. Let's just say that.
It's the horror. This
is the horror teacher talking. So we never really know exactly what his games are going to involve. Hopefully, it's no insects or reptiles this time, Gareth.
Part of everything. Today, the whole idea of today's live stream really is just to get everybody warmed up and ready to go. I know, as we've seen there with our telethon numbers, some people are already just flaming away. So, and Good work. But other people may feel a little stuck, and is what we're here today to kind of help shake the cobwebs off and get moving. So we're going to have a little quick round with everybody on writing prompt bingo. Have you ever heard of that before? So what we will do is I'm going to generate some random numbers or pull numbers. Beth will pick a writing prompt from our list, which is attached to that number. We'll take 3 at a time. And then what we want to do is, whether all 3 of us can do it in a row, and we also want everybody in the audience here to do it too, is try to make a story right off the top of your head with using those 3 writing prompts all smashed together. So they are all elements of the same story. What's it going to be about?
Wow.
Sounds fun.
Wow.
I'm game.
Yes, this is going to be amazing. Okay. Whew. So 3 at a time, Gareth. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for this challenge and the overall writing challenge. So let's do it.
Indeed, too. And as we go and you're thinking about this, I think this exercise, as you're kind of smashing these together in your head and coming up with a plot that's relevant with all 3, just doing that might actually help you answer any questions and things you have as well in your head about general story structure, because that's where a lot of people get stuck with the short stories. How do I structure this? How do I make it, especially within the constraints that you're given? So get involved and pop them in the comments when you come up with something that strings together nicely. And don't forget as well, if you do have questions that you've come here with today in terms of short stories or what to do, and you're feeling a little apprehensive about the whole thing, that's perfectly natural, and you can put those questions in the chat too. And of course, we'll get to those. But we'll start with a little bit of fun. And our first number, Beth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fitting, is number 66.
Order number 66.
You're such a horror guy.
I know. Is that a random number, girl?
Yeah.
It was. I could share my screen.
Mm-hmm. And look at what the first prompt is. Can you guys see that? Where's my banner? There it is.
It was getting harder to breathe. We could all feel it. Ew.
Oh, and we combined that.
Yes.
See, it's a horror prompt. I'm not surprised.
Okay, well, I hope the other ones are short, because I have a 200 character limit on the banner. So pick a short one. Pick a short one.
Our next one is 117.
Oh, seriously, Gareth? Oh, it works. Okay, I'm going to try making a new banner.
The arrow pierced her shoulder, but she fought on. Okay.
Those go super together.
Yeah, those go very well together. So I'm kind of hoping for a fun
Gareth, let's see what you have for.
That's quite a fraught situation. The third entry is 23.
Oh. And just as a reminder, before I pump this last one up, it's not a requirement to use any of the prompts that we've shared. We, as part of signing up, we give to you for free like a list of 120 writing prompts. That's the pool that I'm pulling from here to do this little fun exercise in real time. But it is not a requirement of the Community Writing Challenge that you use those or include them in your story in any way. It's just a fun little way to get started, get those creative juices flowing. And of course, for future use, I've referred to this thing so many times. It's so much fun. Okay, and so our third prompt. Oops. Of course. There it goes. I think now.
Famous couples need their privacy too.
So
okay.
Maybe.
Well, I had something that
until yes. Yes.
So
it was getting harder to breathe. We could all feel it. The arrow pierced her shoulder, but she fought on. Famous couples need their privacy too. Now, Gareth, they don't have to go in this order, right?
No.
Absolutely not. Just 3 elements that you're going to smash together into a story. So we'll keep an eye out on the comments here. Give everybody, I don't know, how long do we need? 20, 30 seconds? And we want to hear a quick little, log line or synopsis of what your story is about.
Oh, a log line or synopsis. Okay. I'm going to see if I can... I wonder if I've got enough space in my banner machine to... What was the second number, Gareth?
When I generate them, it takes away the previous one. I think it was 117. 117.
There it is. If I've got enough space, yes. Okay. New banner. New banner. New banner. New incoming. New banner. 3 prompts randomly generated from our list of 120 writing prompts. Logline, tagline. Yeah. Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Chapter 2. Wow, look at all these coming in already. Oh, this is fantastic. Wow. It was like talking. Maybe some war couple in battle together. Ooh, I love that. Like a famous couple. Maybe they're famous, like a WWE or like a famous battle. Maybe it's dystopian future, and they're famous because they go to war together. That kind of takes my brain to a bit of a post, what is it called? Like a next way down the road sequel to some of the Hunger Games stuff. Right? Because now they're a famous couple. They're definitely getting shot at and battling and stuff like that. Oh, this is so great. Oh, king and queen of a nation go to war over dwindling oxygen supplies in the world. Robin of Sherwood practicing with his new wife.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of getting, because like it was getting hard to breathe. We can all feel I get like stiflation, like something is like it's very claustrophobic. So it could either be an environmental thing, like maybe there's something in the atmosphere itself that's causing people to have to sequester themselves indoors and be claustrophobic, or perhaps it's actually just speaking to like society. So, and then getting to the famous couples need their privacy too. I'm thinking of a society where monetizing celebrity lives is maybe even more extreme than it is now, and it's basically making it hard for them to even express themselves, and it's something that we can all feel, but the celebrities are getting the worst of it. And then you have the arrow pierced her shoulder. Well, I'm saying the arrow is actually something like a drone that's actually like spying on her like outside, and it hits her shoulder, right? And then they realize that they thought that they were in this sequestered place, but they actually are not, and everyone is on to what they're doing out there.
So I'm loving what I'm seeing coming through the live chat. If you're watching the replay,
I like that, getting a tattoo on their shoulder.
Yes, if you're watching the replay of this live stream event, check out the live comment replay alongside. And check out some of these
mouse arrow. Ooh, I like that the arrow is a mouse arrow.
Ooh.
Yes. Ah.
Oh, should I pull some of these up on the screen? You know, I can do that.
The president and her husband are digitally transformed into emojis. Mouse arrows can hurt. The windows are filling up with pop-ups, and the timer is approaching 0. That's excellent. An asthma convention sponsored by Hollywood Sweethearts goes horribly wrong when discovered that the convention hall is double booked with an assassin showcase.
An assassin showcase.
I just love the idea of an assassin showcase convention.
Yes.
Like, that's just hilarious. Let's
Look,
just bring in
all the
assassins.
all the assassins are going around to the little booths with their little swag bag, and they're
I mean, I'm
picking up, like, their
picturing it's
pins.
like covert, right? So their assassin showcase really goes under a different moniker, so people don't realize it's an assassin showcase. But I also just love the idea of just a blatant assassin showcase, because that's just very funny.
Oh my god! Oh, look at Chantel! Look at that.
Famous actor caught choking his wife by female paparazzi who fights for pics even after getting hit by anesthetic dark. Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, so lovely. We do have a lot of. I think we have Gareth.
We have a fair amount of horror going on here, but this was a fairly horror-filled prompt.
Look, though.
The crowd squeezed on them tightly, making it hard to breathe, and she felt something sharp pierce her shoulder. Next year, she whispered to her partner, no appearances at the medieval god. I love it.
That one is tremendous. Ooh.
If you want to talk about like an abstract reference, when I saw arrow pierced her shoulder, the first thing I thought of is an arrow roller coaster, which have really terrible shoulder restraints. Coaster enthusiasts know what I'm talking about. But see, nerd everyone.
Nerd alerts. Oh.
A famous couple trapped elevator feel claustrophobic. Yes, I do get that claustrophobia. But between the privacy and we can't breathe and something piercing, I'm just feeling closing in is definitely a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a thing, a part of it.
Absolutely. Oh, yes.
For sure.
Arrow button.
I think the emojis might be my favorite. No offense to everybody else, but that one was that was hilarious.
Mine went the.
But look, did we talk about?
Route.
Did we talk about Bruce's already? Because look, it doesn't have to be people.
Two famous rats look for a private spot during the battle, but the others followed. As bodies piled up, became hard to breathe. Mr. Etchersgam catches an arrow. Okay.
Right? So it doesn't have to be people.
I'd like to know what makes a rat famous, though. That's kind of world building that is intriguing to me.
Right? I mean, well, there's certainly famous.
Do you mean famous to humans? Famous to other rats?
I go to like the Rescuers Down Under, pretty famous rats.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's possible. Yeah, I'm thinking like that too.
Templeton the rat from Charlotte's Web.
Yeah, Remy, right?
Remy,
pretty famous rat
from Ratatouille.
They're the best at making more rats. Oh, okay.
That doesn't make them famous.
Incredibly prolific rats.
I used to be an author like you until I took an arrow in the shoulder.
Always here for Skyrim references.
Yes. That was fun.
That was fun.
So, I mean, and
do another round.
That is just
another
3
sure.
random, like
let's do another round.
Generated things. Well, yeah, let's do. Let me get prepped and ready. I'll take that banner down. All right.
My mind on that one went to probably the easiest place that mine will generally go, of having a famous Hollywood couple take off to a secluded retreat, and then you piece it together. So why? I figure maybe a family tragedy. They decide that cameras everywhere is not what they want anymore. Except when they get there, or after a few days there, they're besieged by a vicious gang who knows that they can get them out of the view of the media. And when they refuse to comply, we have crossbows involved and a fire and all of that to tie in the rest.
Yeah.
But there's a bigger story comes out of that. So then it's like, how do these guys know where to get them? What exactly are they after? Perhaps there's somebody in the family that sold them out, and it gets a bit more interesting.
Wow.
And if we start another round,
yes,
31.
Oh, 2,000 words. You can make it work.
I could do the lot in 5K for sure, but it would probably come out around 12.
I like where this one is.
The tower went silent 10 years ago. That's all anyone knew.
Oh,
there's a lot to that.
Yes, there's a lot to unpack there.
Nice aren't rats. It's
obviously
true.
If I see tower, I'm thinking fantasy all the way. It could be historical fiction, but I feel, and horror, obviously, a silent tower. Maybe it's not a tower like a castle. Okay.
There's so many different things that could tower and silent. Like
I
what
have
that could
too many. I have too many ideas. I need another prompt to help me narrow down where my story is going.
The tower could be the name of a roller coaster.
Maybe it's Tower Records. Does anybody remember that record?
They went silent 10 years ago, more than that. But yeah, wow.
Right?
Ouch.
Yay. So
Our
Thank
next
you,
piece
Spotify.
is number 45.
Or I guess it was Napster that killed Tower, right? And then now we have Spotify. He'd always considered himself a strong public speaker, but he'd never had to convince a crowd to spare his life. Ooh.
Okay.
All right, I can see where that goes with the first one.
I can kind of see how it could go
In an obvious way. I'm trying to think of a more clever way.
And our third entry, we have number 108.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm expecting it to be like puppies on an airplane or something with that kind of reaction. The scientists agreed that the public shouldn't know. All right, that kind of blends in with the other. Okay. All right.
Oh, that's a heck of a combo.
Let me do the mashup here and see if I can fit all three of these on same screen.
Yeah, what I'm getting at is that the tower going silent has something to do with the scientists agreeing that the public shouldn't know, which implies that the tower is something like a radio tower, cell phone tower, TV. It's something that's disseminating information that the powers that be do not want around. And because of this, the main character has to convince the crowd to spare his life because perhaps they're the victims of some sort of disinformation campaign that he's trying to stop, and he has to convince them that he's actually on the side of right. However, that doesn't tell us what information is being stifled. But lots of different places you can go with that.
Okay, I couldn't fit it all into one banner, so I had to improvise and do.
I just love how we have this scrolling marquee. The scientists agreed that the public shouldn't know.
It looks like a news alert. The scientists agreed that the public shouldn't know. Why did we put it on this news ticker? Film at 11.
And now all of a sudden, the conspiracy theorists start subscribing to AutoCrit in droves. Hi, welcome everyone. I have your tinfoil hat right here.
Free foil hat with every
Hello out there.
We know we love a giveaway, so come on.
And an alien takes hold of an old radio tower to appeal to the public to not be experimented on. Oh, see, I like that. That's what the scientists don't want the public to know about, and they. Yeah, I like that. The other thing that I think is interesting is when it says the tower went silent 10 years ago. That's all anyone knew. I like that because you could say, well, that's all they knew about the tower. What if that's kind of all they know about anything? What if this tower going silent actually is cutting off the dissemination of information in general to people, which would imply something like a cell phone tower or something, where this is some system where information itself is being stifled from the public for various reasons. But maybe that's going a little too like 1984-ish. I don't know. That's just where my mind went, because I just like that that's all everyone knew. I'm like, wow, that's extreme.
Yes.
And then this guy has to convince a crowd in this like old-fashioned fire and pitchfork way to disseminate information since technology has been co-opted or has been removed.
Wow, look at that. The medieval scientists were calling for blood. Vicky, when the tower doors creaked open after 10 years, the villagers armed themselves with pitchforks. Jack, used to easily convincing others, had his hands full with the mob. The medieval scientists were calling for blood. Oh, a robot named Tower
Okay.
brought down after a historic battle. This historian wants to protect it from destruction. A scientist tries to rally the government against the historian to keep a secret silent. Oh,
I like that.
yeah.
The question is why would a tower go silent, right? So
Yeah.
what's a talking tower?
Like, I was thinking, we have in the southeastern area of the U.S., a lot of towns have these towers with the tornado sirens.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So maybe the tower went silent, and that's all anybody knew, and maybe it's a weather-related thing. So
the tower is the all-seeing eye. The protesters silenced it 10 years ago, and peace followed, but now it begins again. Oh, yeah, I could see that. It does make you wonder: is the tower some sort of controlling figure, right?
That's a very 1984 vibe. Like
it is kind of 1984.
I like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, going a little bit lower stakes, you could go, the tower is maybe some sort of musical act. They went silent 10 years ago, and the reason why is because they actually were a scientific experiment in order to find out if you could artificially program a successful hit song. And the person who has to be a strong public speaker but convince him to spare his life is coming out with the story to explain that this whole thing was a ruse of psychological manipulation, but please don't metaphorically kill us. We were just trying to put out good art.
Good one. I love the idea of a band called The Tower, and they
The Tower.
This is wonderful and such a great way. So what we're doing here, Daniel, would you say kind of what we're doing here is a little bit like our AutoCrit Live show, The Book Blender?
It is, right? Or Brainstormer. We've had those shows before. You can look up past episodes on our YouTube channel if you want to check it out. Book Blender was really fun because that one I took a protagonist and a villain and a setting, and I mashed them up together. So if you want to watch me kind of do some of this as well, and it was fun. Yeah. There's some really fun mashups. I don't want to spoil it, but check them out.
No
There's
spoilers.
some weird stories going on in there.
Yes.
I do like Tony Stark in the 80s mall. Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
I missed that episode. I'll have to go back and catch that one.
Yeah, that one actually ended up with a story that, like, if I actually had any connections, I would be like, Marvel, there's something here. I think I got something for you.
Yes. Marvel, if you're watching, call
yeah,
us.
Right?
Yeah.
Kevin Feige, I'm sure you watch this channel.
So this just gives such great examples of how you can use these prompts. Take one. If it resonates with you, run with it. If you want to mash 2 or even 3 together, think of all the possibilities where your story could go. With these last 3 we pulled up, the very first one had so many different areas, the different directions it could go, that I thought I really needed a couple more prompts to lay out the bones of kind of what else is happening in that, right? Yeah. So,
and it kind of comes from the brainstorming notion, which I like a lot in that phase, is the always say yes to ideas. You just try every idea that kind of comes to mind and don't deny that it might work. Because you can end up with something that's rather contrived, at least to start with, but in that brainstorming session, you don't really need to be concerned with such things, because you might, if you inhibit yourself too much, lose out on some really innovative concepts, because it's that trying to think outside the box, which requires saying yes to outlandish things that can help you get to that point. At least that's how I feel about it.
Yes. Wonderful. So, Gareth, do we have time to do one more? Should we?
We could do.
All right.
Yeah. Get my technology situated here. All righty. Let's do one more round. And hopefully this is, and we have, I think, some tips and tricks and other things beyond just how to germinate that seed. But we'll do one more round of this, and we'll.
First up, number 76. If we haven't had that already.
No, we have not. Oh, fun. Okay.
I love how she always gets to react before I get to know what it is. She's like, aha, look at what I have.
Don't you wish you were in control of the spreadsheet over here? Yes. A Shy Mage comes out of his shell.
Ooh.
Where my fantasy writers out there.
Right.
Looking at you, lady. I know you're out there. This is going to be fun. All right. I'm going to try to have one banner for all this. Okay. Here we go.
106 to follow up.
I never play poker with me, guys.
I know, right?
Just yes. All I have is 4 1s. Is this good? Like, are you embarrassed to be seen with me?
Oh, poor Shy. Poor Shy guy.
Finally, number 12.
The answer usually is yes in my case.
As with a lot of mages. Okay. This one's going to be a tough one.
Oh, all right. We're mixing it up now. Here comes the twist, or I guess it's the river in poker terms.
Yes. For the flop and the turn, and here's the river. What did the
hacker find that shocked him so much?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, now it's all happening within some kind of MMORPG.
I know, right? That's like the obvious. That's the obvious answer.
And a DOG. Like, I don't even know what you just said there.
The obvious answer is there's this shy, nerdy guy, and then they find out his inner secret that he's secretly some wizard or something. But that's the obvious answer. I'm gonna try to go a little deeper.
This hacker one, it puts me in mind. These 3 prompts, Gareth, put me in mind of the little mini challenges we were doing in the community last year that we may bring back. So give us a vote if you want to see more of the little mini challenge, which was called Destination Unknown, where we would give you an opening sentence, and then the next week we'd give you a twist, and then the third week we would give you a closing sentence, and you had to use the opener and closer. You had to. And then you had to incorporate the twist in the middle. So much misdirection and fun. But that's what these 3 prompts feel like to me.
Unnecessarily cruel.
A little. Thank your random number generator for us. This one's a toughie. Let's see what do we have coming through the chat. Yes, Gandalf too. Electric Boogaloo, because you always say that. Oh, Chantel says yes, please do that challenge again. Okay, all right. The hacker was a clone hacking his own account. So funny.
I'm gonna say that when it says a Shy Mage comes out of his shell, it's because this is actually a turtle. But it can use magic to make himself look like a human being, because otherwise people would be embarrassed. Oh, somebody else had the same idea, right? And I didn't even see that. I'm sorry, Kimberly. I was not stealing your idea. It was just brilliant minds think alike. And so that's why are you embarrassed to be seen with me? I mean, a turtle. Anyway, so that is what the hacker finds that shocks him so much. He's able to reveal that this human is not in fact human. It's actually a turtle. Or a snail. I'm trying to think of other things with a shell.
Something with a shell. But of course, when you said that, Daniel, about him coming out of his shell as a turtle, it always makes me think of the Bugs Bunny cartoons where the little shy turtle, and he takes off his shell and he's naked. Like, it's the funniest visual. So I got a little distracted there. Are you embarrassed to be seen with me? Why Yes, I am, because in fact you're naked, and that's a little embarrassing because we're in the supermarket or whatever. Like,
or here's another one. So there's the shy guy that works at a gas station, a Shell station, right? And so he comes out and he has this conversation with this person who's embarrassed to be seen with him because they don't want to be associated with somebody who works in a gas station. Meanwhile, there is a hacker that finds out that secretly this gas station is dealing with some sort of magical force in order to siphon off oil in some weird, mysterious way and avoid the oil monopoly.
Interesting. I love how collaborative our viewers are, because someone let's see, where did it? Oh no, scrolling so quickly. There's so many great ideas. Melissa says, my mind's wandering around like a dating site.
Yeah, I do get that with that shyness. Are you embarrassed
and
to see
then
with me?
like a couple comments later, the Mage dating app was a success. Like,
and then the app was hacked, and it was discovered that a master mage was creating the beings that the mages were matched with.
Because it was like an underground way to take over the world.
I like it.
Oh, I like that. But the idea that a dating app kind of story came up, and then another one a few comments down was just like, yes, I'm going to run with that.
The shock is that they don't even exist. They just want your money.
So,
something to remember, kids. If you ever sign up one of those dating sites and you immediately get like 20 emails, probably not real. Just saying. Buyer beware.
Yeah, I found that tied together as well. Kelly's a demon asks the Shy Mage if he was embarrassed to be attached to him after accidentally being summoned through a computer game. Because there is that thematic question that's always asked, what is magic but technology we don't understand? Mm-hmm. Is a potential. So a hacker stumbling across actual magic.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh,
that combination of magic and
is it magic
technology.
With science technology? Oh, excellent. Oh, fantastic, Sandra. Comment from Sandra in the chat. Wish I had access to these amazing prompts you keep talking about. Those were a link was included in your confirmation email when you registered for the Community Writing Challenge. If you don't still have that, or if it never came through, or if it got lost in the ether, as sometimes emails do. Did I just write a poem just now?
Some free verse. Let's go.
Yep, we will post that. It is posted if you're an AutoCrit member. Those prompts are posted as a direct download in our members only community. If you're not yet an AutoCrit member, we're going to post a link to those in our AutoCrit author community on Facebook. And if neither of those options are possible for you, you can always go to AutoCrit.com and click on that little blue bubble in the right-hand corner of any of our pages and just ask our wonderful support team to send you those over. We'll make sure that they have it at their fingertips. So yes, we will definitely, does anybody who didn't see the link on their confirmation email, who didn't download them, or like me, sometimes download them, can't remember where I saved them, someplace clever on my computer and can't find them, just grab another copy. We'll make that very easy for you. Fantastic.
And I got to call out Timothy's. A warrior cuts open a coconut shell and finds a Shy Mage inside whose portal spell went wrong. Very wrong.
Very wrong.
Very wrong.
Love it. That's awful. Yeah. Portal yourself inside the coconut.
There are worse places.
And he's like trapped there. I'm picturing it's like Rip Van Winkle. He's been trapped there for like hundreds of years.
How long has he been in there going slowly insane?
The mage picks up a shell on the beach, but instead of the ocean, he hears a call for help from some princess.
He shrugs and throws back. I don't need that in my life.
Look.
Just a little bitter, Timothy. No.
Women ain't nothing but trouble. I'm not answering your call.
If you love pina coladas, yes. Put the mage in the coconut and mix them both.
You put the mage in the coconut and mix them all together. No. Oh my goodness! And
this live stream has been pulled down for copyright infringement.
I don't know about you, Daniel, but I would challenge that anybody could tell what song that was with me singing it. Like, I feel like
As Cap always knows, they
Yeah.
always
Oh,
find out.
true. It's true. Well, that was great.
That was fun.
Everybody. If you'd like more fun like this, grab those prompts. We talked about a few different ways to get those. They were attached to your confirmation email when you joined the AutoCrit Community Writing Challenge. Now, if you don't still have that email, if it got lost in the ether, if you just want another copy, 3 ways you can get those. We're going to post a link in our Facebook AutoCrit author community, which is publicly available. You do not have to be an AutoCrit subscriber in order to access that. If you are already an AutoCrit subscriber, either professional member, elite, or lifetime, first of all, thank you very much. We appreciate you, and we're so glad you're part of our family. You can find those prompts inside the Community Writing Challenge discussion group in Mighty Networks. You can find that at community.autocrit.com. And finally, if all else fails, our support team is always here to help. Any of our pages, autocrit.com, and then just tick that little blue bubble in the bottom right corner and say, I'd really like to get those prompts, and we will make sure they can just send you a file directly.
It's more fun listening to Beth and Daniel. Aw, thank you, and your check's in the mail.
Just read those out, yeah. Now
and my sister, and so no, I'm just kidding.
That is wonderful. Oh, nice ideas for the story. Oh, great. Excellent.
Awesome. So, Beth, when is our next Community Writing Challenge event?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I have my calendar here.
It's like on your refrigerator, isn't it?
It really is.
Well,
for our classes, I have a binder, so this is going in the front pocket of the binder. We will be posting this online as well. It's just a PDF, little printable version of all the live stream events that we have scheduled for our Community Writing Challenge. Our next event is actually tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, and we're doing a short story edition of Pitch It. Daniel, tell us a little bit about that.
So Pitch It is an opportunity for you to give us a short pitch about your story. So considering we're in the middle of this Community Writing Challenge, what we're expecting is you might have a few sentences about what it is that you might be working on. And you can kind of feel out and see what the community thinks, what we think, maybe some elements that you can adjust about your premise, or maybe things you didn't even realize about your premise. You know, sometimes you don't think of all the implications of your world building or all the different avenues that your character could go down and all of those different things. So you can throw out your pitch and you can get a little idea of, you know, what we would think about it, which, I don't know, could benefit you later on in terms of judging. You never know, right?
It absolutely might be a little bit of it really might be another little mini version of this, where instead of just generating these ideas and just kind of brainstorming, then, you know, if you've got something that you're brainstorming, bring it in and we'll all kind of chat about it together. So that is tomorrow, Wednesday, May 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then on Thursday, Gareth, tell us what we have coming up on Thursday.
Yeah, so confirmed on Thursday, we have a live event and Q&A with Rain Hall. The fantastic author, writing tutor, author of the Writer's Craft, over 20 different guidebooks and books with writing prompts and all sorts of amazing stuff. Rain is just fantastic, and she'll be with us same time as today, but on Thursday. And if you would like to have your questions answered by Rain in terms of short stories or storytelling in general, you will be talking specifically as well about setting and how to make that kind of come alive in your story, no matter how long it is. Part of a successful story really is making that sense of place feel real, like things are actually happening there in that space. So we'll help you with that on Thursday, and again, bring your questions.
And then to round out week 1 of our Community Writing Challenge, on Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern, join me for a write-in, and that will be a prompt-free individual. Just jump on a YouTube with me and we'll set some timers, hold ourselves accountable, do some word sprints, and get those words down to get you started on that weekend, where we have 2 free days, Saturday, Sunday, no live stream events, because that is your time to do we call them do the work days, right? So Saturday and Sunday is our do the work days. So that rounds out the rest of this week. I just saw a quick chat come in. Can we join Pitch It if we don't want to pitch? And the answer is yes, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, because you can either give feedback to the other people pitching. Maybe you can say, oh, I love that idea, or did you think about this? Or you can simply just get inspired by some of the questions we're going to ask, because like I said, we'll bring up a lot of those world building questions, those plot related questions that really are relatable to any story. You know, do you have a good central conflict? Do you have a good progression of events? Things like that. So.
Yes.
And that will, I believe, does that stream from Zoom to YouTube?
That'll be, so we have a Zoom link available, so you can join almost live and in person. And be part of the show itself.
You don't want to be in person in this room, trust me.
And then that will also live stream out to YouTube. So if you're more comfortable kind of joining virtually through YouTube and participating via the chat, that is absolutely fine as well. Just like and follow. I don't know how to do this on YouTube. Subscribe and ring the bell. Yes, subscribe and ring the bell here on the AutoCrit YouTube channel to get some notifications when we are going live, and then just pop on over.
Yep.
Yes. Well, that wraps it up for today's show, all about our AutoCrit Community Writing Challenge, how to get some inspiration, taking some of those prompts and just mashing them up, generating a quick little story idea from 1, 2, or 3 prompts put together. Just an example. You don't have to use the prompts. Again, we'll be posting those if you didn't get the email or can't find the prompts. We will be posting those in the Facebook group for the public, on our Mighty Networks group for AutoCrit subscribers. And if all else fails, hit that little blue button on AutoCrit.com and just let our wonderful support team know that you'd like to get those prompts, and we will get those to you right away. Any last words? Final wishes?
Just have fun, everybody. I mean, that's what this is about. And you'll notice this was a lot of fun. And again, that's part of that brainstorming process. One of the things that makes it fun is you just get to say yes. And you're like, I want to make this work. How do I make it work? Let's just imagine that it all works. And, you know, eventually you'll get to that stage where you need to do the editing and you need to go through all that. And, you know, some people find that fun. I find it pretty fun. But certainly for now's your time to go like wild. You know, push your imagination to its limits. Stretch your potential possibilities there, and you know we'll curb it back a little bit later, and we'll have shows about that as well. So don't worry. But the whole point of this challenge is to have fun. So do so.
Yes, agree. If we don't have a lot of rules here at AutoCrit around our challenge, you know, guidelines. Number one rule:
like guidelines. Anyway.
Have fun. That one is that is a non-negotiable. So
yeah.
And I want to read about the coconut mage.
Yeah.
I really do now. I feel like that's a promise to the reader that you need to execute on. Whoever.
Yes, it piques our interest. Now we're
the emoji president. I want to hear about that one too.
Gosh, I love our community. So
I
wonderful. Know. Gosh, have fun, write stories, do crimes. Jeanette, it is so good to see you. She's such a crack up. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you, everyone. We look forward to seeing you live tomorrow on Pitch It at 1 o'clock. Check out the links to the events on either, and I do have a banner for this, as we play us off Keyboard Cat. There, you can always see, oh no, Daniel fell out of the live stream. You can always see the schedule on live, AutoCrit.com/events. all of the events that we have associated with the Community Writing Challenge, or in our Facebook group under events, or in our Mighty Networks, community.autocrit.com under events. And what's the phrase that Daniel said? Subscribe and ring the bell to get notifications when we're live on YouTube. Very helpful.
Yeah, so like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe and retweet and Facebook. I don't know. Social media.
All these internet things.
Internet things. Thank you, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you take some time even after this and keep writing to hit those 5,000 words. We'll see you soon.
Good luck, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.